Totem pole, 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 totem pole.
Hello, everybody. Recording live from somewhere.
Totem Pole Nation Life Lessons Podcast, episode 206. This is Coach Troy Taylor with Lambo and the man from Soul. What is success? Where are you at right now, man from Soul?
I'm here on Hungry Springs Road at Panther Stadium. Herm.
Lambo, where are you at?
At my house.
There you go. Lambo is chipper this morning. He's ready to go. Man from Soul is already out hitting the ground running. And for some reason, we're not streaming to YouTube. So, MK, good luck finding us. The YouTube link didn't work. But this is Life Lessons Podcast. And we're back. What is success, Paul?
Success? Yeah, I mean, it's simple. It's achieving a goal that you set out for yourself. Because it's defined, success is defined by you. You know, my measure of success is not the same as Coach Troy's measure of success. It's whatever you set out for yourself. It could be simple as, today I want to get these things accomplished. I was a success. If I don't get them accomplished, then in the opposite spectrum, I failed. However, as we learned yesterday from Mr. Federer, you don't focus on that failure or that success because you got to move on to the next thing and the next set of goals for the next day, the next month, the next year.
And Lambo, what is your definition of success?
Well, success is about consistency. Success is about growth, having a growth mindset instead of a fixed mindset. Also, when it comes to success, you're not successful unless you have a successful circle around you. So, what makes you a great head coach? You have to have good assistant coaches. That's what it comes down to at the end of the day. You're not going to, it's not about winning championships because there's plenty of coaches that have success without winning championships. It's hard to win a championship every single year. If it was easy, then everybody would do it. But it's how you get your players locked in. It's about culture. What can a coach do not besides winning championships? Does he have the culture? Does he have the staff? Is he able to adjust to the game? There's a lot of things that play to the factor of success. But success is not an overnight thing. Success is like building the Great Wall of China. The Great Wall of China was not built in a day. Rome wasn't built in a day. So it's all about how long you trust the process. Success is basically the process. How long can you handle the process? And once you get through the process, then you'll be successful.
Lambo Belichick. That is what I nicknamed him, because this man just doesn't talk about the process. He just doesn't talk about doing your job. Lambo Belichick, a.k.a. Lambo Calrissian.
Wait, hold on a second. Yesterday, he was Lambo Algorithm Totem Pole.
Yeah. We have a lot of different nicknames around here. Somebody wanted to know what Paul's real name was. I don't know why somebody came on here, Mason's Channel 57, and we will be streaming this to YouTube later. All right, it won't be live, y'all, but we will be streaming this to YouTube later. But Mason's Channel 57 said, what is Paul's real name? And I said, Crystal Ball Paul. Crystal Ball Paul. That is his real name. So success, according to John Wooden, is peace of mind in knowing that you have done the best that you are capable of doing. Now, the coach's wife and the coach's daughters yesterday, they talked about do your best. Always do your best. And Lambo, you watched the entire TB12 retirement. His number has been retired, correct? From there will never be another Patriot that will wear number 12 unless he agrees to unretire.
No. Tom Brady is Tom Brady. The Bill Belichick being there and all his teammates were there. It's a great ceremony to have. But Tom Brady, he done what he's done in the NFL. We appreciate him not just for a day, but this is a new era of football. So we can talk about Tom Brady, like we talk about Michael Jordan, but we got to talk about who's actually playing. So NFL season is coming up soon.
So you watched the whole thing. Did anyone during that 3-hour live stream mention Dick Raybine?
Nope. Tom Brady did, but nobody.
He mentioned Dick Raybine during the thing.
Probably his last part of the speech, or when Mike.
I gotta watch that
asked
again.
him the question, or when Mike Tirico asked him the question.
When did Mike Tirico ask him the question? Because I got to find this, Lambo.
Either it was in the beginning or it was in the middle, somewhere like that.
It was either in the beginning, the middle, or the end. So
whatever one it was.
I will go to the beginning, the middle, and the end, and I'm going to find it. So Mike Tirico was.
I might be wrong, but if he didn't, then he didn't. But I mean, I know Tommy would, but everybody else know.
Paul, what was that like having the son of a quarterback and watching Dick Raybine's family talking about the pattern, talking about the process? Does it make you further believe in the pattern, in the process, and the way of doing things?
Absolutely. Every day, I'm glad you said that, because every day something or one of you guys or just something reminds me that, dude, just let it go. Let it go. I mean, you don't control the process. You're part of the process. And just let it be, you know? And you take it one day at a time. Like, I mean, as Coach Raybon's wife said, I mean, the story is just magical because the guy was an observer, he was a thinker, and he just seemed like he never got ahead of himself. Like he stayed in the moment, and that allowed him to have extreme focus on the process of finding the New England Patriots a quarterback. And yeah, as I sit here watching my son throw, he's part of a process of finding himself a place to play. But I admire the way he's going about it, because he doesn't get rattled. He's the same person every day that I see him, and he doesn't seem frustrated or anything like that about the process. He's just letting it happen. So if he's like that, I should be like that. So I'm learning from him as well.
Lambo Belichick, how does that make you feel that Paul is really embracing the process?
Well, I mean, that's common sense for a guy that's older. Not only for a guy that's older, but now that he's been around us as far as football wise and recruits and all that other personal stuff, that these guys don't know much more than you do. They all these coaches try to do is try to grab the players. They use them for student debt anyway. Half these colleges don't know nothing. If they did, they'll be using that transfer portal. So at the end of the day, I mean, it's smart. I just think the man so has a plan for his son, and whatever play he decides to go with, that's great. He's got to make sure he lives his life and not live his life through anybody else or have other bad influencers live through him, because at the end of the day, he's playing football. At the end of the day, he's going to go to college. At the end of the day, he's going to get a scholarship, and whatever he wants to do in life, whether he wants to play professional football, whether he wants to do sports broadcasts, whatever he wants to do, it's his life. So if you jump the process or if you jump the steps, it's not going to get you there any faster, because things not only happen to you, they happen for you. So that's what it comes down to.
I need to go back, Lambo, and watch Jay-Z's performance before the Tom Brady retirement. Did you watch Jay-Z's performance? Because Jay-Z was the one that told us in the Kevin Hart interview, things don't happen to you, they happen for you.
No, I did not watch the Jay-Z performance.
You did not.
No.
What is your son working on right now, Paul, as a quarterback? What's he working on the field?
They're working on stepping through pass rush.
Stepping through pass rush.
Mm-hmm.
Man, Patrick Mahomes. Wonder what drill he does for that.
Yeah, I want to know too.
Huh?
I want to know that too.
Yeah. Patrick Mahomes, I would have liked to have him out on the court playing. I bet you he could play, dude, with those guys.
He can. Patrick Mahomes can play basketball, yeah, definitely. But I think when he was playing basketball in the off season, I think the Chiefs saw on social media or whatever he was playing basketball, and I think they might have put that in his contract so he don't get hurt.
Yeah. More football players
people
get hurt playing basketball than they do football.
Yeah, because you can easily tear your ACL in basketball than you do in football.
Yes.
All you gotta do is step on somebody's foot or make a wrong turn.
Do y'all remember the NCAA tournament where the dude had the compound fracture and the bone was sticking out of his leg? I think it was a Louisville player.
Yes. Oh my God, I don't want to get to that.
That is the worst injury I've ever seen, man. That's worse than Joe Theismann.
Wait. Is it worse than the Paul George injury? Because
was the bone sticking out of Paul George's leg?
Oh, that was awful.
That was awful. It happened to Paul George. Yes, it did. I think it was like his last.
So which one was worse to you?
I don't want to know. I don't want to know which one. It was bad.
I don't even like to look at that stuff, dude.
I can't look at that stuff.
Me either. I don't even want to talk about it.
Nope. Next topic, Coach. Next topic. I can't talk about that. That makes me sick.
Yes. I mean, so many people want to be doctors. So many people want to be vets. But, they want to be a child doctor. But can you handle the things that vets have to do and doctors have to do?
No, because that's a process.
It was a miracle that Paul... What's your dog's name?
Harmony.
Isn't it a miracle that Harmony is still alive? Can you update us? Because I don't know. We haven't been on Life Lessons since what happened occurred. So do you want to tell the fans what happened to Harmony and how is she doing?
During the Totem Pole Sports broadcast, Harmony darted out the door as I opened it to let her daughter in, and it was pitch black, no street lights. She was out there maybe 3.5 minutes, and then I heard this big thump and a car screeching its wheels. I'm like, oh, she's been hit, she's done. And then she just came waddling home. Took her to the vet, emergency hospital Sunday night. She had a cracked pelvis. They said it could heal on its own. Other than little scrapes and some road rash, she's at home chilling, laying down, taking her pills, and just on bed rest for 6 to 8 weeks. And she should fully recover. And if she's running around in 6 or 8 weeks, I'm just going to be like, I'm looking at a ghost, because that dog should have been a goner.
Wow. A miracle.
That's the Lord. That's the Lord's work right there.
We have been so blessed. We have been so blessed.
Yeah, and again, it helps. It helps to remind me that like this stuff out here is just a game. Eventually, it's gonna work itself out. Just enjoy it.
It's just a game, man. Yeah, just enjoy the process. Lambo embodies that. enjoying the process, embracing the process, and creating
Content.
He
Yeah,
creates.
and again, when it comes to the process too, I have to say something because Lambeau's head basketball coach Joe Mazzulla, I had 180 on my perspective of him. Watching just a couple of clips of him talk at the press conferences, talking about basically life and faith and stuff like that. He's really good. I mean, although I don't like the Boston Celtics offensive sets, they're following their process. That's who
And
they
those
are.
guys believe it, dude. Like,
Yes,
sometimes you
they
got to lie to your players. You're taking unbelievable shots, and they think that you're telling them the truth, but they
Oh
keep
man.
winning.
Man. Oh,
yeah, and again,
that's
I
not gonna.
mean,
It's not gonna work next year. It's not gonna work next year.
Well, we'll
but
worry about
see,
next year.
next year,
Coach
yeah,
the
but it's
team
it's
today.
working this year. I mean, it's working. I mean, they haven't gone away from who they were, and they keep, I just call it jacking threes, but I guess they got around in the room and said, this is the best way for us to win. We have high percentage 3-point shooters, and we're just going to shoot threes and shoot people out of the game, and it's worked. They're one
And
game
let
from winning
Jalen
the.
and Tatum push the ball when they can.
Yes, and that's
Yeah,
their process and their pattern. I
they're
mean, and
6'8".
they put a collection of players together that have length and that can shoot the three ball at a high percentage. I mean, until someone stops it, I don't know because hey, the opposite end of the spectrum. What's the process like in Los Angeles?
Mm.
At least
It's all
Boston
about
has
LeBron.
one.
LeBron is the process.
Well, guess what? There's not one guy that's the process in Boston, and it's working. So if you want to win, you better have more than one guy be the process.
Man, can
Or if you go hire a head coach, you better use that Brad Stevens plan. You better have him for 4 years, let him struggle, and then build a team. Let him do that. GM of the year. Should let them build the roster first, get draft picks. But the Lakers are so worried about chasing the Celtics and rings that you fire coaches after every 3 years. That's not a process. You're hiring.
And again, let's be real. If the Lakers re-signed LeBron and traded him for all they could get, would they get back to the promised land faster or slower than
No,
keeping him and hoping that what they have is going to work, or they're going to put another piece on that team and it's going to
neither,
be you know, better than fifth place in the West?
neither.
'Cause
Because
I
like I
think
said, there's five
that's
teams
their
that's better than the
ceiling.
Lakers.
Their ceiling is fifth place no matter what they do.
yeah, I think that the Lakers right now, the pattern says there's always somebody that thinks they're the pattern. There's always somebody. I mean, can you believe that Jerry Krause thought he was so smart
Mm.
that he could recreate this process without this guy and Phil Jackson? That's why it was The Last Dance.
That's
Dude,
why they hadn't won a championship since.
that's the pattern. There's always somebody that thinks they're the pattern. No, it was the Zen master that was able to weave the pattern.
And now that you look back, I'm
Mr.
glad you brought that up.
Miyagi.
Like, if you look at that team, and he was like, well, they're just getting to, they've reached their peak. But listen, all you had to, it was easier to add youth to that team than to break the team up and think you could recreate something. No,
Huh.
you ride that bike until the wheels fall off.
Jerry Krause was a baseball guy. He worked for the White Sox. He wasn't a basketball guy.
Nope.
Phil Jackson was a basketball
And
guy.
that's why, look, I mean, Brad
Phil
Stevens,
Jackson, Andy Reid.
Brad Stevens, he's
Yeah. A basketball guy.
he's made some great moves as a GM, and I give him a whole lot of credit. But the only guy that I've seen that recreated anything was the guy out in Oklahoma City. Like he really he was there during Durant, Harden, and all those guys, and now he's got this young basketball team that finished as the 1 seed. Give them credit; they were the 1 seed, no matter what you want to say about them. And they played hard every night. They got a young, aspiring head coach, and they're on the ascent. You compare that roster to the Lakers, and you're like, you're not even in their area code.
Like, I'm thinking about Brad Stevens, and I have because I've studied him. And, he was such a great coach at Butler and had so many opportunities, and he finally went to the NBA. And I've listened to him and Gino Auriemma talk, and Brad Stevens really had a hard time when he went to the NBA. It's like Roger Federer. When he went to the NBA, he had a hard time. That in the NBA, if you lose 40% of the time, you had a good season. Whereas dude didn't lose 40 games his entire career at Butler. He had to realize that when he was at that high of a level, that everybody's competitive, everybody's got players, and you ain't going to win more than 60 or 70% of the time. And I think what Brad Stevens, who is a genius, realized that he knew the pattern and he could influence the pattern more and be more valuable by not being the guy calling the shots. Because I think he realized it don't matter who's calling the shots out there when you got the right pattern. You got a Jaylen Brown and a Jason Tatum and Baba Marcus Smart and Porzingis and these other role players. You can influence the pattern by deciding who's a part of the pattern. I mean, do you agree, Lambo? Because, everybody was like, why is this guy leaving? Are they moving him out? Dude, he knew it didn't matter who was coaching that team. It didn't matter what offense they were running. If you have good enough players, they are going to win.
Look, he did what he was supposed to do as the head coach. He took him to the Eastern Conference Finals like 3 times in his 9-year tenure, I think 9 or 10-year tenure. So, he was burnt out coaching. He already said it. He was burnt out coaching. Danny Ainge left to go to the Jazz. So it was his spot to replace Danny Ainge, and then you got Ime Udoka. And then that year when they went to the finals, they were 25-25, which they were number 10 seed at that time, which was the bad record. And then after the All-Star, they won 28 of the last 35 games. So the formula was right there with Ime Udoka, except when he cheated on Nia Long. That's not the formula.
Dude, I'm telling you. You just remind me of Joe Mazzulla when he was spitting out all those numbers. 25 of this, that. Dude, his mind is like a computer. He's just spitting out numbers just like you just did. And, dude, maybe yesterday I thought, that's stupid. He's saying we're taking unbelievable shots. But sometimes you got to believe it before you see it. And Joe Mazzulla, man, he's a character. Like, he isn't scared to say what's on his mind or to answer the question. Like, I think the royal family. How do you feel about the royal family coming to watch you play? And he's flat. There's only one royal family. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. Man, and he doesn't laugh. He doesn't smile. He just sits there. Like, yep. Yeah. What do you think, Paul? Dude, he's an interesting dude, man.
No, well, he's got both feet on the ground is what he's got. And then
tell a story about what he was doing last week or this week. They asked him, what were you doing to prepare?
I missed that one.
Yeah, you sent it to me. He went to the hospital.
Oh, yeah. Yes, that's right. What are you doing to prepare for the game? He's like, what am I doing? Well, I met 3 girls that were under 21 that had terminal cancer, and they were laughing, smiling, and enjoying the day. And it's just he does grounded stuff, man. He will never. Both his feet will always be on the ground. This guy, he's a good dude.
He's a good dude.
And then they asked
dude,
him, did we talk about when they asked him about how do you feel being in NBA Finals with 2 black head coaches in NBA Finals, and he
How many
said,
of those are Christian? How many of those are Christian coaches? Everybody got silent.
Yeah.
"Yeah, he goes,
Because
are they both about faith or something like what he said?" I was like, wow.
it's all about division. He knows that they're trying to divide us. And dude, like, yeah, he don't coach, he don't get a haircut, but Coach Whittingham, who is Coach Lambeau's mentor and mine, Coach Whittingham sent me a video about Joe Mazzulla and his wife and the things that they do to help others. Servant leadership. I mean, my favorite part of the entire podcast yesterday, Paul, with Coach Raybine's family. Tom Brady's first training camp. He was working out with his daughter, and he fell and passed out on the treadmill. The next day, they went and made him take a stress test. My girlfriend's got the same thing that he had, an enlarged heart. When they did the funeral, everybody left, and there were Quakers who had been at were they at McDaniel or Wagner College? Where did they do their preseason? Lambeau, where do they do their training camp? Is it at Wagner, or it's one of those schools up there? It's not Wagner, so Wagner's in New York, but they were at this small college, and in walks a Quaker, and then walks another Quaker, and before you know it, there's a line of Quakers. These are people that don't dress like modern day people, and these people were there on that campus for some reason, doing ministry, working. They don't live in the same world we live in. And the one daughter was still sitting in the pew, and one of the Quakers came up to her and said this. This is the most powerful thing. I need to make a short of this. The Quaker said, "Your dad was a wonderful man. He used to come and spend time with us and talk about his faith." This dude was the quarterback coach of the New England Patriots. And during training camp, he made such an impact on a group of Quakers that they came to his funeral, and all of them had something to say about this man. I mean, Paul,
Wi-Fi isn't set up.
This guy was special. Dick Raybine. I know you said you didn't get to hear that part of the podcast, but how does that make you feel that this dude was coaching Tom Brady and Drew Bledsoe? And he said it was like having the two perfect sons. I mean, how can you go wrong? You got Drew Bledsoe. Drew Bledsoe paid for his kids and Charlie Weiss for his kids to go to college. What about the Quaker story? Isn't that powerful, Paul? That's who you are, Paul. You are just like him. You're the type of guy that would go somewhere and make friends with the Quakers. I know you would.
100%. 100%.
Did he see himself in Tom Brady? Yes. His wife said, I never thought of that. I said, he saw himself in Tom Brady because this guy was so high character. This guy loved it so much. This guy knew the pattern. He saw the pattern that's in him in Tom Brady.
Yes, minus the minus the rocket arm, the mentality was there, and it's
Well,
like
they said he didn't even have a rocket arm, man. Like,
no, I'm talking about Tom Brady's arm. He's like, that's me, but the guy has an arm, and so his mentality on the field, at practice, in life. If I had his arm, that's the guy. He's me with an arm.
yeah, because he was a center. I mean, he could have went to Wisconsin, but this guy was surrounded the greatest of all time, Mike Webster. I mean, Paul, how do you feel about that? The Quaker story. I think that's the most powerful story of the entire thing. It's never been told before.
Mm.
We're the low man on the totem pole, but aren't the Quakers like the low man on the totem pole? I mean, people would probably make fun of them. They dress weird. They lived back in the 1850s.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of again, I see it every day. A lot of people walk through life that don't even see people.
Ooh.
Like they can exchange money with a person, and then you can ask them 5 seconds later, what were they wearing or what did they look like? And they'd be like, "What are you talking about?" See, Raybine.
Yeah, Raybine. Raybine. I had to practice saying his name, dude.
He wasn't
It's like
like
Raybine,
that.
but Raybine.
And again, it's just ironic that Tom Brady was the same way. I mean, every new face that showed up in the locker room, he introduced himself to them. Every single guy. You know, and some people don't like Brady and stuff like that, but it's just because when
He's
you're
a winner.
successful, when you win, people are not going to like you. But behind closed doors, they didn't even know that he just wanted to be one of the dudes.
And the further he got along in it, I think the more he realized. Like I listened to a lot of Tom Brady yesterday, a lot, and he said the further he got into it, and I agree with this, Lambeau. You know, you'll know this one day. He said he became a better teammate after he had kids. I became a better coach once I had a son. I became a better coach. And I'll tell you why. It's because I saw things differently. That's someone else's kid that I'm talking to. And like, what kind of coach would you want your kid to have? Dude, Raybine's father-in-law was it middle school or high school coach? Like, his wife is smart. She listened to her dad. Like, dude, Dick Raybine was a handsome man. He was a handsome man, and he was very, very smart. You can't get no better than Dick Raybine. And it's just amazing, dude. Sometimes, Lambeau, like, choices are made for you. Decisions are made for you. I mean, the mom worked at Packers camp. Dude, I mean, the spider web of Dick Raybine. Wow. I mean, it starts with his mom and dad, and then his brother having an older brother, and then Bart Starr. Dude, he's a product of Green Bay, Wisconsin. Faith, family, and football. St. Vincent of football. That's my middle name, Vince Lombardi. That's what he preached. That's what he lived. Faith, family, and football. Even though Vince Lombardi wasn't around his family very often. Have you ever heard the story about Vince Lombardi when he would go home? He would go home and he would park his car and go in the house, and he would walk in someone else's house. That's me. Like, his mind is somewhere else, dude. He's not even thinking about what he's doing. Like, he can't shut it off. But faith, family, and football. Lambeau, what are you thinking about this faith, family, and football? I've heard it so long. Dick Raybine lived it. He loved the Green Bay Packers the way you love the Patriots. Imagine if you got an opportunity to work or coach with a professional team that you loved, like Coach McNally started off in Buffalo and ended in Buffalo. There's no the way that you would say, I don't believe in God, or I don't know there's a God. I don't believe that there's not a universal force or a pattern that's guiding my steps, because I'm not smart enough to figure out even where I'm going or what I'm doing. Lambo, I mean, what a powerful story. What are you thinking? What are you feeling, Lambo, this morning?
Well, those 3 words, I mean, they're basically called principles. That's what the wife said. Don't forget your principles. Do what you love, but don't forget about your principles. Don't forget about your priorities. Don't get your principles and your priorities out of place. You know, faith, family, and football. You know, that's the core thing that you're supposed to do. That is the focus on how you enjoy doing what you love. At the end of the day, it's life. Life isn't always about football, but you have to be locked into what you love. And at the end of the day, whenever you have a family or friends or whatever, you make sure that you spend time with them as well. So basically, you just balance yourself out. But basically, it's keeping your priorities in check, and also it is a mission statement. That is a mission statement. Family, faith,
Faith,
family, and
family, and
football.
football.
That is a mission statement.
That is a mission statement.
Yes.
I mean, that really, faith, family, football. It's not football, family, faith. It's not football,
Nope.
faith, family. That's his priorities. Faith,
Yes.
family, and football. If you're a student, it should be faith, family, grades, and then football.
Yep.
And so before yesterday, Lambo, you are the resident expert in all things Belichick. What did you know about Dick Raybine before yesterday?
Dick Raybine, I just know watching documentaries of him that, he got hired in the Patriots in 2001 season after the Patriots came off a 5-11 season in 2000, one of the worst seasons of all time. Tom Brady was the 4th quarterback on the depth chart at the time. And then I think towards the end of training camp, he moved up to number 2. And when it came to Dick Raybine, Dick Raybine was a tremendous dude, great man. Also, he worked with the New York Giants for a couple years. I do remember him with the New York Giants
For 3 different head coaches.
for 3 different head coaches. Yes,
Yeah.
I do remember that. Bill Parcells. Don't know the other 2.
Hold on. I think it was Ray Hanley, she said, but I don't think Ray Hanley was the coach after Bill Parcells.
I don't
I
know
could be
who was
wrong.
I don't know. I remember.
She said Ray Hanley, Dan Reeves, and Jim Fossil.
Well,
but I don't know if that's even the order. I need to look that up. But
I know
dude,
Jim Fossil,
she knows. I don't.
I know Jim Fossil was the coach. I just don't remember the other 2. But when it comes to Dick Raybine, he's like a Jim McNally, very smart and understands the quarterback position. Dick Raybine took, a huge part of, he saw himself in Tom Brady, and that hurt in that 2001 season. I think, Dick Raybine died. I think that's also the year that they traded Lawyer Malloy to the Buffalo Bills. So they were going through some stuff, but Bill Belichick made it known that it's a business at the end of the day. So,
dude, it was Ray Hanley.
Yeah, so Ray Hanley. And then also in 2001, not only Dick Raybine died, they traded Lawyer Malloy to the Buffalo Bills, or I think it was the year after. No,
It was after
that was
they
the year
won the Super Bowl. They got rid of Lawyer.
After they won the Super Bowl. But in 2001, they were just struggling. They were 0-2. Drew Bledsoe wasn't getting the job done. He got hurt, and then Tom Brady found his way. He won his first start against the Indianapolis Colts week 3 when we beat the Colts 44-13. So
And Peyton Manning was the quarterback?
Yes, he was. Peyton Manning was the quarterback.
Isn't it kind of crazy that Tom Brady and the Patriots had so much success against the Sheriff, Peyton Manning,
Herman,
but
I think
ends up losing 2 Super Bowls to his little brother, who takes second fiddle to Peyton. I mean, it's almost like a joke. They laugh about it.
I mean, it is what it is. At the end
But
of the
Tom
day.
Coughlin,
Tom
dude.
Coughlin. Well, and Steve Spagnuolo too. That's why he's a great defensive head coach of the Chiefs now. So they play that.
Spagnuolo was the DC.
Yeah, they play that. They play that 5-2 front. That 5-man pressure, 5-2 or that whatever it's
3-4
called.
defense. Bring wherever you want it. I mean,
3-4, 5 wide. I mean, 5 linemen, whatever they play, whatever we could stop.
They line up in everything. It's coming from everywhere.
Yeah, we couldn't stop that at the time. So it is what it is. I mean,
but that is Belichick's defense. Is the 3-4. I mean, it's crazy, but that's his defense. Man, aren't you glad to be back doing life lessons?
Yeah.
I really am. This has been great today. We will stream it to YouTube. It won't be live, so we will not be interacting with y'all on YouTube, but we will stream it on YouTube, and we'll put it on there. But look at our sign. Look at that. What are you thinking about that, Lambo?
Well, I mean, we came from the low man of the total pole to doing it in a school to now getting a studio. So, we had to get rid of some people in the process, but we don't need them. We're here now.
And man, I don't even know if you if you're going through a situation right now and you're worried about getting rid of people, you don't have to worry about it. They get rid of themselves. They get rid of themselves. We are Totem Pole Nation. TotemPoleNation.com. I'm rocking the green. Friday, I'm going to see Dave Matthews Band. I'm going to have to stream some of that, but I don't want to get a copyright. And today I've been listening to the Eagles because Alex Maribal sent a song. It's an Eagles type day. Not the Philadelphia Eagles, the band, Don Henley and the Eagles. Lambo, I love you. I'm proud of you. Keep embracing the process. Dude, if you learn one thing from Coach Raybine is learn other people's pattern, learn other people's process. You've been blessed to be a part of Raising Cane's, which has a great process. It's different than Chick-fil-A, but that's why they have success. Be different. And as you go along the way, Lambo, you will learn people's processes and people's patterns. And then it's like tea. You take a little bit of the tea, try it. What you don't like, you let it go. What you do, it becomes a part of you. And that's Totem Pole Nation. You got anything else you want to say, Lambo?
No, we got to write this content, making
We
more
love
content
y'all.
in the future.
We love you all. We love creating content.